raining cats and dogs lately. That appears to have inspired creatives to lace words that flow with the season, while others are searching for a divine solution to COVID-19. That's part of our lineup on the program today. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Welcome to Art House. Plus, we'll be paying tribute to two veteran artists from the Zaria School who have been an inspiration to the younger ones. But first, this spoken word artist encourages everyone not to wait for the rain to stop.
A spoken word by Sonny Onaji, title Dance in the Rain. The cloud is thick and dark outside. Signs of rains out there. Traces of lightning and thunderstorm. People running helter-skelter. Market women and men scampering, trying to protect their goods from the rain. Everyone trying to take cover to avoid the rain. Children singing, "Rain, rain, go away, come again another day." I'm standing watching, 'cause my dream is in the rain. Should I go? Or should I run away to avoid the rain? But my dream is out there in the rain. I will dance. I will dance. I will dance in the rain for my dream's sake. I have tried and given excuses before. I have tested failure out of mistakes. The more I try, the more I fail. I have waited for the storm and the rain to stop. The more I wait, the more it rains. Should I avoid the tide or swim with the tide? 'Cause my dream is out there in the rain. I will dance. I will dance. I will dance in the rain, 'cause I don't know when the rain is going to stop. 'Cause my dream is out there in the rain. I will dance in the rain for my dream's sake. I will dance in the rain to fulfill my dream.
Yes, dance in the rain. Remember what they say, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade and follow your dreams, because it will take you far, just like this artist.
Just an aside, the Hamatan workshop has...
This is what a tribute to 60 years of studio practice looks like for an artist who's paid his dues and has become a legend in the art scene. Paintings, sculpture, installations, especially his signature printmaking style, were all on display as Professor Bruce Onobrakwe always has culture written on his works.
Well, I'm a printmaker, and printmaking uses different techniques to produce different results. I have innovated a lot of techniques, and those techniques are being called now the Nigerian printmakers technique, and they have influenced a lot of Nigerians, and exhibitions by them in the country and outside the country have been received with joy. And so this is just a selection of a few of the techniques and a few of the works and few of the themes that I've worked on for many years. There are different works from different periods, and the techniques are also quite different. Generally, I use the art to give the story of our lives and to dream. And the technique is very experimental. Printmaking is experimental. They're also very democratic, and the prints are democratic because they can reach a lot of people. And we use them to produce something that is beautiful and to send messages and to communicate ideas and so on and so forth.
SMO Contemporary is proud to have curated the show for this living master and took time to select images that chronicle his 6-decade journey, structured in 3 themes.
The exhibition, Amy, you can always tell where an elephant has passed, is an exhibition of 35 prints by Professor Bruce Onabrokpaya in commemoration of 60 years of studio practice. So we have works here that go all the way back to 1959, which was his first exhibition in Ughelli, all the way up to works that he has done this year. So it's a very, very exciting body of work. As we all know, Professor Bruce Onabrokpaya is a living legend. He is one of Nigeria's most prolific experimental artists. He's one of Africa's most celebrated artists. His work has been exhibited around the world. And today at 87, we are so delighted that we were able to have a conversation with him. Bruce Onabrokpaya's work spans the history of Nigeria and also talks about our culture, our traditions, our folklore, and also is a social commentary on the socio-political happenings of the nation. So he has works that deal with environmental issues, environmental degradation in the Niger Delta. He even has a work that he did 2 years ago, which was inspired by what happened to the Chibok girls. So Professor Bruce is both a commentator as well as an artist that is trying to remind us of our incredibly rich cultural history.
Professor Onabrokpaya's stellar career, captured in images, allowed the visitors room to appreciate why this icon is being singled out to be honored.
Yes, at 87, he's still fit, in good spirit, and he's still working. I think it's a thing of joy, and we thank God for his life, and we pray that God continues to keep him for quite a while. Relationship with him, way back in 1985, I met him for the first time. I bought a piece of work from him, which he claimed was incomplete, but I considered it complete. Since then, of course, I bought a lot of works. So it's been a wonderful relationship with him. We learn a lot from him, his spirit of hard work, and his simple attitude to life. He's a great man.
Bruce Onabrokpaya is a living legend, UNESCO acclaimed living legend. And if you look at his work tells a story. And if you look and try to read the work, because paintings need to be read like literature. And if you are able to read the work, then you are able to read the history, the culture, the way of life of African people. Most importantly, Nigeria, the Urhobo culture, the Edo culture, which is drawing his inspiration from.
Bruce is an inspirator to every young artist. And you can see that he is a man that has proven himself all over the world, not only Africa. And we have been able to do a lot of things through him. I think it's a big psychology to the mind of the youth because of all he has contributed. He's a master, he's a great patriot, and he's a great giver.
As one of Nigeria's leading artists, it's only right that we celebrate our very own. And I think we need to do better. We need to be able to bring out these icons that have made such a huge contribution to Nigeria and to celebrate them and also have them inspire the younger generation.
is a special commemorative exhibition which features 31 rare prints spanning the prolific career of this veteran and speaks volumes about his personality.
Professor Bruce Onogbapeya has been mentoring young hands, especially through the Hamatan workshop in Agbaruto, Delta State. And he's not the only one. I'll show you another multi-talented artist who has been honored by the National Gallery of Arts for all his hard work. That'll be after we check out the images you sent in recently. And these are the works of art that made the cut for this week. In the works of art you sent in this week, artists are looking for a divine solution to the coronavirus pandemic, which is ravaging the world. And let's begin with Onepe's work, which talks about reality redefined. He says this has now become our reality, at least for now, so we should wake up and smell the coffee and also take precautions. It's an oil on canvas work. This mixed media work is done by Ada. She says despite all, we should learn to take care of ourselves. Hygiene is really important. So no comfort food during this time so that you don't gain a lot of weight. Just try to stay healthy and take care of your body, mind and spirit. And talking about taking care of your spirit, we have this one called Benediction. It's an oil on canvas work by Osi. A willing vessel is how Toby Daniel sees everything. He's asking God to use someone to help come up with an idea that will solve this pandemic once and for all. It's a digital artwork. Then Religion is an acrylic paint on strawboard paperwork done by Jeremiah. He says religion is what we practice. There are different religions, but we all serve one God in different names, and we need to call on Him now more than ever before. Peace in Trusting is a palette knife oil on canvas work. It's done by Raphael and Lizzie Kadri. Spiritual Sanitizer is how John Peter has coined this work, which is done on oil and canvas. He says, God's supernatural healing power is what we need now more than ever before. Ola Promise has The Resistance, an oil on canvas piece. Herbert is talking about the busy lockdown. He says, even though there's a pandemic, people are throwing caution to the wind and he's telling everyone to be careful and practice social distancing, hand washing, and don't forget to wear your face mask. It's a watercolor on paper work. Same Ship, Different Sails is an oil on canvas work done by One. He insists that this painting reminds him that the world is indeed a global village. Those are the works of art you sent in this week. We do encourage you to keep them coming.
I've been using my work to show that everything should be based on our culture for it to serve us. The art that we create is helping to give our people self-identity.
They both graduated from the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, but this veteran went beyond visual arts to the stage, creating amazing designs for theatrical productions and architecture for landmark buildings.
Demas Mwoko, a well-respected artist and architect, whose works fuse creative experimentation and indigenous building traditions, is the man of the moment. He strives to incorporate modern techniques in architecture and stage design to express African subject matters in most of his images. The Acting Director General of the National Gallery of Art, Mr. Simon Ikpakronyi, expresses his thoughts on this renowned artist.
He has built magnificent buildings. Dominica Center at Ibadan, Oba Kinzua Cultural Center in Benin. Where he's living now is a structure that all of you need to visit and view.
The multi-talented creative paved the way for a modern mode of expression in African art, theatre, painting and architecture. He is also a fine actor and dancer, having performed in numerous plays in Ibadan, Oyo State.
You find that you are born a creative person, and then your experience in life. For example, I didn't start drawing early until I entered secondary school, but before that time, I was very aware of art and architecture and all that. So, you know, then as you encounter what gives you the training, you begin to practice them. And in my own case, I found that I could practice almost any aspect of the arts. Since I am not a person that hangs on that I must. I think I was born a very free person. If you are born free and non-materialistic, I mean, then you find yourself expressing yourself, you know, without any type of restraint. Great creative people have died even at the age of 30 and all that, and they are referred to as if they lived to be 100. So really, it's like every day you find yourself alive, you do. Each day you find yourself alive, you do. You see, and I think I'm still doing, and I will always do.
Nwoko's designs show an ingenious activity that carries with it a focus on social responsibility for positive influences in the environment and culture of the society, ideals he has passed on to the younger generation.
Just before we wrap up the program, we have some videos and more images you sent on our various social media platforms. This painting is done by Zona Strings, who resides in River State, South Nigeria. He used singer-songwriter Adekunle Gold as his muse. An 11-year-old sensation, Waris Karim, is asking the audience a question. Can you make my work go viral? But it already has, Karim. This young hand has always caused a stir with his hyper-realistic drawings. Another one from Port Harcourt is coming from a youth corps member who is showing us two of his images. One of them is titled The Human Camera.
This is a painting I did of His Excellency Governor Wike. This is a pastel painting, pastel and charcoal painting on keyboard. And I placed this painting, I cropped it out and placed it inside a mirror. This work can serve as a means of beautification and also as a means of, as you can serve as a mirror too, that you can use to look at yourself. Then here is my recent work I did. I titled this work The Human Camera. This work here tells about the connection of the human eye with the lens. As you can see, the lens is a source of light. It can bend light, it can convert light. As you can see here, I infuse a lens inside this eye to show the significance of the importance of light and reflection.
Then we wrap up with this one, which is simply amazing. It's done by Wilson Clifford. I found it fascinating, so I hope you enjoyed as well. We have more breathtaking creations, but that's when you tune in to Art House on the next episode.
Next week on the program, to celebrate the founder's big day, LVI Gallery does something unique with dance, visual arts and technology.
Nigerian dance is a contemporary culture, so we are promoting our dance, which is very popular worldwide. But although it is popular, we have to document it, we have to learn it, and we have to trade it.
Get the gist when you tune into Art House next week.
Your Art House experience doesn't have to end when the show's not on television. Interact with us on any of our social media platforms. See any edition of Art House on Channels TV's YouTube page. Send your works of art to Art House on Channels Television by joining the group on Facebook. We are everywhere.
I hope you have been able to draw from the pool of inspiration Professor Onogba Ikpeya and Demas Nwoko represent. They are two great men who continue to make their mark in the art world. Let's talk about which artist has inspired you to keep going. Talk to us on any of our social media platforms. I'm Melinda Akinlami, encouraging you to stay safe and stay creative.